YouTube family. Extra, extra. Read all about it. Freedom in jail, heaven in hell. A clip inserted, a baby's being born. When the flesh crucified, resurrection begin. As far as that go, it's only natural I explain his plateau and also how he washed my pain. His name is his name. I am that I am. Yeah, the King of Kings. And everything in between. Yeah, his name is his name. I am that I am. Yeah, the King of Kings. And everything in between. Look, when you make these high vibrational improvements, the transition leaves you unrecognizable. It leaves people head scratching, thinking, weren't she or he the person that I remember when you used to, right, in the flesh, but I've changed. See, you don't like it unless it's brand new, but God will strengthen what remains. So, you get the hint. Today's video is about how do we overcome an identity crisis? How do we overcome an identity crisis? What is it? What is an identity crisis? It's inner conflict. It's unstable, scattered, aimless. It's self-questioning. It's a period of uncertainty, which leaves a question. Who am I? Who am I? And how do I get out of this identity crisis? How do we overcome this? It's a theory called the Erickson theory. And he believed that the human personality continued to develop after the age 5. He also believed that our personality depended directly on the resolution of existential crisis, like trust, intimacy, integrity, individuality, etc., etc. In his studies, he expanded on Freud's 5 stages. Now, how do we imply this on overcoming an identity crisis? How do we overcome this? Well, first, if you're struggling with anything and wish to overcome anything, you have to acknowledge that you may have an issue. So this is how you overcome an identity crisis, by acknowledging and accepting your feelings. And when you sit with these feelings and accept these feelings, give yourself grace. Yeah, the same grace you want to extend to a friend when they struggling. Give yourself the same grace. This is how you overcome an identity crisis. Another way to overcoming an identity crisis is to look inward. Yeah. Ask yourself questions like, what are my passions? What am I interested in? What do I value? Yeah. Ask yourself those things. Because you used to have values that you upheld. And somewhere you lost your way. So this is how you overcome an identity crisis is by looking inward. Now, as you look inward, you may realize that, you know what? I'm no longer interested in that. You see, we change. And the things that you used to be interested in are tasteless. They're not so flavorful anymore. And that's okay. Because another way to overcome an identity crisis is find new hobbies. So whatever that is. Hey, you might want to cook more, or a new trade, exercise. See, in my training, I'm part of the Toledo Road Runners. And yeah, and when I joined this, I had no idea I was going to find new friends, or these was going to be part of my strong social support. And this is another way to overcoming an identity crisis, is having a strong social support. See, now me and my lawyer have more things in common. We don't just only meet in courtrooms and offices. We get out and we meet people and we share our stories, and it's encouraging. It relieves anxiety. This is how you overcome an identity crisis. So like I said, out with the old, in with the new. So maybe you want to grow a beard. Ladies, you may want to cut your hair. This is another way to overcoming an identity crisis. Look, I used to have long locks past my shoulders, down my back, and I cut them. And it was tough. That was hard for me. Look, you are looking at an overcomer. This is what overcoming looks like. It looks like you. It looks like her. It looks like him. It looks like them back there. Overcoming looks like you. So yeah. And when I cut my hair, I can feel people like, I don't know. But on the flip side of that, when I was growing my hair, people was like, man, cut your hair. So another way to overcoming an identity crisis is not living up to other people's expectations of you. No. Yeah. And not putting so much identity in the way you look. So this is how you overcome an identity crisis. You want to redefine. Yeah. Yeah, this is how you do it. So another way to overcoming an identity crisis is being an empty cup. So what do I mean by being or finding your empty cup? See, one of the reasons why you may be struggling or having this identity crisis is some need might not be getting met. You know, you might not be getting fulfillment. And an empty cup represents, or it has one reason, and it's to be filled. And you want to change your perspective on half full or half empty. I see it as just half. But when you come with an empty cup, or you be an empty cup, you have one intention, and it's to be fulfilled until your cup runneth over. So this is how you overcome an identity crisis. And practice some mental fitness. Have mental fitness. So reconnect with the things that was joyous in your life. And make space for what the future holds. Be optimistic. This is how you overcome an identity crisis. So overcomers, remember this. We are friends and no longer slaves. We've been adopted as sons and daughters. We are heirs. We share the inheritance of him. Yet we have nothing to boast about. We have peace. He is our Father, and we are children of God. That's who we are. Remember that. High five. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Peace.